Hey everyone, I'm Micah, and today I'm here to talk about panic attacks. You may have also heard of panic attacks referred to as anxiety attacks. Although the name is different, they describe the same condition. Up to 35% of the population will experience a panic attack in their lives. The prevalence of these attacks makes it likely that you or someone you know will experience one. In this video, we are going to discuss possible triggers of an attack, signs and symptoms, and how to support someone experiencing an attack. Before jumping in, I want you to take a second and close your eyes. Think back to a time you did something completely new and experienced some discomfort as a result. Maybe it was the first time you went whitewater rafting, rock climbing, or the first time you asked someone out on a date. As you think back to this time, can you feel anything happening in your body? Maybe it's a tightening of a chest, a quickening heartbeat, or feeling the need to get out of the situation as fast as possible. Now open your eyes. This is something we all have experienced at one point or another within our lives when we have chosen or have been required, like speaking in front of a class in school, to be in an uncomfortable situation. Most of us can feel the symptoms and yet continue to function, knowing that once we get through, we're going to be able to calm down. Now imagine that your anxiety continued to increase and became overwhelming, stopping you from being able to complete your daily tasks. The difference between panic attacks and anxiety is that panic attacks result in symptoms that become unmanageable and debilitating. This is just one example of how panic attacks can affect people. Panic attacks can be the result of a specific trigger, or it can seemingly happen at random. Panic attacks can get so extreme that people will do anything they can to avoid certain situations they believe will lead to an attack. Some people will stop going to the grocery store or even stop leaving their house due to fear of an attack. This is clinically diagnosed as a panic disorder. Someone diagnosed with a panic disorder has to meet the following criteria: reoccurrent and unexpected attacks followed by a period of time where the person is fearful of more attacks and changes their behaviors because of it, such as avoiding the grocery store or not leaving your house. Examples of changed behaviors in wilderness settings could be avoiding heights or isolating from the group. To be diagnosed with a panic disorder, the attacks cannot be related to substance use or be due to another mental illness such as having a phobia. A phobia is when we have an extreme or seemingly irrational fear of something. I say seemingly irrational because being afraid of heights is actually pretty rational. You could potentially fall and hurt or kill yourself. But a phobia, of course, goes beyond some nerves around a cliff. This would be when we will try to avoid the situation at all costs or become extremely activated when in the situation. This can result in a panic attack. This is different from having a panic disorder because we have a very specific situation in which a panic attack is occurring. Other wilderness examples could be fear of different animals such as snakes, spiders, or bear. So now we have 3 causes of a panic attack. Someone who is in a new situation and experiences an attack, someone with a panic disorder who has frequent attacks without a specific trigger, and someone who has a phobia and may experience a panic attack as a result of being in the dreaded situation. Let's talk about signs and symptoms of panic attacks. This can be helpful to know if you find yourself having an attack or you see someone else having one. Within the diagnostic criteria, a true panic attack must include 4 or more of the following: pounding heart or accelerated heart rate, sweating, trembling or shaking, sensations of shortness of breath or smothering, a feeling of choking, chest pain or discomfort, nausea or abdominal distress, feeling dizzy, unsteady, lightheaded, or faint, feelings of not being within reality or being detached from oneself, fear of losing control or going crazy, fear of dying, numbness or tingling sensations, and chills or hot flashes. A common statement from someone who is experiencing a panic attack is, "I think I'm having a heart attack." As first aid providers, we must consider the possibility the patient is experiencing any number of conditions. Our goal will be to gather a detailed patient history related to the onset of symptoms and history of anxiety as well as heart-related conditions. The length of panic attacks can be tough to pin down. Most attacks last 20 to 30 minutes, however, some can be quicker or last longer. It is possible to also have multiple attacks in a row, which will lengthen the time. An evacuation to a higher level of medical care is needed if the person experiencing the attack is not able to calm down after several hours and is seeming to get worse. Regardless of the length, it's important to advise people who experience an attack to see their doctor after a trip to rule out any underlying medical issues. Next, let's look at a few techniques to help assist a person during a panic attack. The keys to helping someone successfully get through a panic attack are simple. Putting them into practice, however, can be the difficult part. The first thing to focus on is breath. Unless you have a set meditative or mindfulness practice, breathing is not something we typically think about. It happens automatically within our body and adjusts based on our activity level, how we are feeling, and many other factors. The problem is that within moments of extreme stress or during a panic attack, our body believes our life is in danger and we need to fight, flight, or freeze. This causes our breathing to become shallow and quick. In these moments, we need to consciously work to slow down and deepen our breath. If you are attempting to help someone during an attack, try to have them take deep breaths with you, or try practicing a breathing technique with them. Square breathing, also known as combat breathing, is taught within the military and other situations where someone experiences life or death situations. This technique helps our nervous system calm down and it gives our brain something to focus on other than extreme panic. I'm going to introduce square breathing and then have us practice it 3 times through. For square breathing, simply breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. Drawing the square can actually be helpful for someone to focus on. Okay, let's practice this 3 times in a row and just notice how you feel afterwards. Breathing in, hold, breathing out, hold. Breathing in, hold, breathing out, hold. One more time. Breathing in, hold, breathing out, and hold. Check in with yourself and see how you're feeling after this. The second key to helping someone through a panic attack is bringing their mind out of internal experience and having them focus on external stimuli. Square breathing also helps with this because drawing the square gives them something external to focus on. Another technique that is helpful is using their senses to focus on the external. Ask them to begin listing things they see in their environment, such as the beautiful lake, rocks underneath my feet, the beautiful mountains behind me. Ask them to describe what they are seeing. If they say they see a tree, what color is the bark? What shape are the leaves? Utilize their other senses, such as asking what they can smell and hear. Ask them if they can feel their feet on the earth or their back against the chair. Any of these techniques will help the person begin to think more clearly, bringing their frontal lobe, which is our thinking brain, back online. So now we have talked about the definition of panic attacks and the different types, signs and symptoms to watch out for, and 2 techniques to help someone move through a panic attack. As always, knowing any history, such as previous attacks and triggers prior to it happening, is best. Consider asking about any types of phobias or panic disorders in your intake so you are aware and can have conversations prior to the trip. Thank you for watching.